All right, everyone. We are now in the longest shutdown in U.S. history. People awaiting their tax return, tax refunds and stuff might have to wait a while. They just gave a round of pay and bonuses to, I think, airline workers or something, because there are certain federal workers that really shouldn't be furloughed right now that are, and then there are plenty of others that should, not even exist as jobs, and they're still on the clock. It's an interesting situation, but Trump's reaction has been largely, yeah, what do you want me to do about it? He just sits there and chuckles and says, yeah, I'm going to keep the government shut down. You're not negotiating with me. He's going to keep doing this and ramp up the pressure until the Democrats crack. They're already starting to fight one another. Some of them are saying, yeah, I would expect eventually they're going to have to do something. They might not give him the $5 billion, but they'll have to give him something. They're reluctant to make it a physical barrier because then they'll realize that most people along the border don't fucking get inconvenienced and don't care. And then you have Acosta shooting himself in the foot with what he said with regards to people going in the gaps between segments of wall. They're not going over the wall, they're going around the wall. Yeah, that's the full fucking point. That's why he wants the $5 billion. I think most Americans eventually, even if they think that Trump is predominantly responsible, and all the Democrats primarily think so, and a lot of the centrists. The majority of Americans do call it the Trump shutdown, not the Pelosi-Schumer shutdown. Regardless, though, eventually they'll want to give in too. They'll say, look, things are going to fall apart. Oh my God, there's going to be recession and depression, war, and crazy shit. Just give him his fucking funding. It's $5 billion. And that's really how Trump should approach it too. When he comes out, in the future, starts talking about it again, as he has been. What he should do is say, look, it's not that much. The Democrats earmark, go down the list. The Democrats earmark this, and this. All of these are bigger totals. They want this for the military, and this for healthcare, and this for education, and this for blah, blah, this or a road, and here's a $500 million for a bridge to nowhere and stuff like that, and say, look, there's plenty of spending within government. I'm asking for one installment to shore up the border defenses. That's all we need. Campaign promise fulfilled, problem largely solved, and then he can say, look, here's my counter argument to the Democrats. They're saying, give us our general funding, and then we'll talk about the wall. What Trump should say is, here's my counter offer. You give me the wall, and then we can talk about DACA. Make that case. It would be a fairly popular proposal, and I don't think most people, they wear MAGA hats, they like Trump, still support him. I don't think most of them would care. If you end up with some dreamers end up becoming citizens or whatever, who fucking cares? You got the wall. So that helps solve the problem long term. Some people, like the hyper-nationalists and also the liberals, they only want a short-term victory. And they're not thinking long-term. The liberal idea is, well, we'll just give everyone amnesty. Okay, well, if you haven't improved border defenses, you're going to have to do that again every 10 years, which we've been doing all down the line. That's the whole problem. That's what worries me. Illegal immigrants don't worry me. The problem that worries me is how politicians use illegal immigration as a constant campaign issue, never solve the problem, and keep using it as a justification to gobble up people basically off of the papers. Under the table immigration outside of the normal bounds that Congress has actually duly imposed. That's what bothers me. And then the idea of people on the other end of the spectrum as well, just kick everyone out and build a 100-foot deep barrier or something. It's not going to happen. It wouldn't work. So there's basically what he should do. And here's the thing. Ultimately, the Democrats have already begun to panic. They've been coming out, and they're basically, some of it's crying wolf. They're like, oh my God, all these terrible things will happen. The government shut down. Oh, it's the longest shutdown. Oh, they're having a nervous breakdown. It makes them look kind of afraid now, doesn't it? Why do you think that is? Because the longer it drags on, the more people will blame them. They'll say, look, okay, yeah, Trump is immature, or whatever, he's having a tantrum. Fucking give in. It's not the end of the world. Give him his fucking wall that he campaigned on, that 45% of the population wants. And they'll probably end up funding it. Maybe not to $5 billion, but they'll fund it to some degree. Either that or they're trying to force Trump to declare a national emergency so they can drag it through the court system. The problem being that basically be like punching a raw wound. It would just antagonize everyone more, including Trump, who will then release more tweet storms, which are quite entertaining. I still give better odds to them eventually buckling and funding this wall segment, and that's really what it is. $20 billion finishes everything. $5 billion gets you started and does the most important job of the crossing areas and certain especially vulnerable areas that need better barriers. You got segments of the wall that are 20, 30 years old. Don't you think that it needs a little bit of maintenance once in a while? Yeah, probably does. You know, do the border agents have to go to Home Depot to buy new segments of fence when someone cuts through one of them? They probably do. Crazier things have happened. It's sort of like when people in the Coast Guard right now are being told to hold yard sales to get by because of the shutdown. And it's like, why is the Coast Guard getting furloughed? That's kind of important now, isn't it? I would think that it costs you more in terms of, like, the Coast Guard, they stop smuggling, they do drugs and human trafficking and stuff, help defend our territorial waters. I wouldn't say that that's non-essential. I think that's quite essential. They should keep getting their pay considering the hazards of the job they're doing. That's one group. It's like when Trump suggested making cuts to the Coast Guard initially. That was the part that people balked on. Like the initial cuts that he wanted to make, I think he named 3 agencies to the tune of a few $1 billion. I can't remember why. He's like, oh, well, this will be cheerful. I'm the first Republican to ever cut a government position. And then he throws the Coast Guard in, and McConnell's like, what the fuck are you doing? I would agree on that one. Yeah, including with the Never Trumpers. The Coast Guard, if anything, probably deserves more funding, generally speaking. Considering, all those cocaine shipments from South America coming through our ports. Yeah, the Coast Guard's pretty instrumental there. Them and people working on the docks. No, I would say that the shutdown can go on forever and it doesn't really affect the average person. I'm sure tax refunds, okay, that's a big thing for some people, but you gotta understand, most people don't get money back from the government. Most people are still paying in. They have to pay into the system. They don't get anything out of it. And it's really screwy. Like, most people shouldn't pay anything. You know, the government needs to get by on less. We should slash the cost of government by 90%. Now you have monarchism. Now you have a constitutional republic. Right now you get a weird, bloated, bureaucratic state that's starting to resemble the USSR. And by the way, Trump is eking out an existence picking away at that bureaucracy, but by and large hasn't done anything huge. People that thought, oh my God, he's so far right. Not really. He's sort of an Eisenhower right-wing figure. He doesn't want to abolish the military, he just wants to reformulate it a bit. He doesn't want to get rid of bureaucracy, he just wants to cut a few positions and a few pieces of paper off the stacks and stacks they already make every single year. He doesn't want to slash and burn taxes, he just wanted to lower the rate by a few points. He's not exactly an extremist. That's about all. Peace out.